shall start the record. So we'll have just asked you to just accept that it's being recorded there. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Well, welcome to our early bird yoga. It's gorgeous to have you all here. Last class before my holidays. So just let yourself arrive. So we're going to do just a couple of minutes in our breath work. So like that, if you like to do your breath work in a seated position, or if you prefer to do it lying down, whatever your favored position for your breath work. So if you're sitting, giving yourself a few moments to find that most comfortable seat. If you need a cushion to get a little bit of height to balance your pelvis, that's perfect. And then when you've got that balance in your pelvis, you can extend through the spine. If you're lying out, just taking those few minutes to really settle into the mat and notice the points of connection, the natural curvature of your body, and where you're more deeply supported by the ground beneath you. And if it feels comfortable, gently closing down your eyes. And just beginning to enter into your abdominal breath practice. Inhaling deeply through the nose, allowing the belly to expand, for the lungs to fill. See if you can even breathe into your back body. You can feel the movement of your back ribs as you fill those lungs. And then as you exhale through the nose, drawing that belly back in, again, using that physical movement to help you to expel every last drop of breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Simply seeking out your balanced breath. It may be comfortable in your practice to just add a gentle count. So noticing in your mind the perfect count for you to have a full deep inhale that's still comfortable. We're not forcing. And then a full deep exhale to the same count. You can continue with your continuous breath cycle if you wish, or if it's comfortable for you for the last couple of minutes of our breath practice, you might like to integrate a pause at the top of the inhale with your lungs full, and again at the bottom of your exhale after you've emptied those lungs completely, still maintaining the balance between inhale and exhale. Take 2 more full rounds. And then gently, after that second round of breath, allow your breath to return to its most natural, most easeful state. Take a little scan, body and mind, noticing how it feels to begin your day with just a few minutes of conscious breath. In all honesty, I do this in the bed in the morning. I don't even get up to do it in a more formal way. It's so valuable. When it feels right, gently begin to bring a little movement to your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. If you are sitting for your breath work, making your way down to lying out on the mat now. Again, just a little wiggle of the body, feeling yourself kind of sort of smushing. I'm sure there's more technical terms, but smushing yourself in and then having that natural release. Just really activating, awakening those muscles. When it feels right, as you inhale, extend your arms over your head and take a full stretch. Fingertips away, toes toward your face. Exhale and soften. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and soften. One last time. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and soften. Gently return your arms down either side of your body. And just gently take those knees up, feet flat to the mat to begin, and then draw those knees in toward your chest and just give yourself a little hug here. So again, it might feel absolutely perfect for you to stay still here, or you might find that your body has already just naturally started rocking, if you'd like that little bit of rocking motion with your morning hug. Again, just focusing in on the breath, taking whatever movement your body is seeking in this position, whether that is stillness, whether that is moving the knees side to side, whether it's bringing the knees in circles or rocking forward and back, and just allowing your body to guide you, maintaining mindfulness in the motion, and like that, being able to just gently, gently notice the impact of your movement through your body, noticing where there might be a little sense of release, a little sense of softening. Gently return to stillness. Place your left foot down to the mat, and we'll take the belt and bring the belt around the ball of the right foot, so just below those toes. Lengthen through that right leg completely. Again, if you need to have your leg lower, that's perfect. Just finding what feels really good in your body. Keeping that little micro bend in that right knee, that gentle pressing into the ball of the foot with the belt, into the belt with the ball of the foot even, and that gentle energy through that right heel. If your belt is long enough, elbows to the mat, and lengthening through that left leg completely and making that full footprint with that left foot, so those toes point toward the ceiling. So that's just keeping that leg awake for you. Again, just settling in here. You might even like to close your eyes as you breathe into this. Nice deep breaths to release this right lower body. In through the nose, out through the nose. You can check in to see if you've maybe created a little bit more space for yourself. So it might be that that foot comes a micromillimeter closer towards you. One last deep breath in here. And then we'll gently pass both sides of the belt to the right hand, remembering that most important principle of holding that left hip, that left leg stable as you gently release that right leg nice and slowly to the right. Only as much as is comfortable while you're able to maintain that left hip and left leg stable to the mat. Check in on those principles in the right leg, the soft knee, the stepping into the belt, the gentle energy through that right heel. If it's comfortable for you, you can extend that left arm from the body. And you might even like to bring the gaze over toward your left hand if that feels comfortable in your neck. Again, just finding your perfect expression. Enjoy your breath. Again, breathing into this beautiful release that we're activating through the right lower body. Take one last deep breath here. And then we're going to begin the return to center. If you had your gaze over, you're going to bring your gaze back to center first. Deeply engage those core muscles so that you're using those core muscles as you inhale that right leg nice and slowly back to center. Beautifully contained in the movement. The power is in the pace, and the pace being super slow. Allow that gentle settling in center, and then pass both sides of your belt to your left hand. And gently guide that right foot just 3 to 4 inches across midline. So in line with your left shoulder, right femur descending to the mat, soft knee, gentle energy into the belt. And again, if it's comfortable, you can extend your right arm from your body and maybe even bring your gaze over toward your right hand. Enjoy your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Take one last deep breath here. And then again, as we begin that transition back to center, if you brought your gaze over to the side, bring your gaze back to center first. And then gently inhale that right leg nice and slowly back to center. Again, allow that gentle settling in center before you draw that right knee in toward the right side of your chest and release your belt. And we'll just hold that knee in place here for just a couple of breaths. We're still lengthening through that left leg, still making that full footprint. Enjoy your breath. You can gently begin to make circles with that right foot, about 5 in each direction. And then we'll lengthen through the right leg fully. Take a few moments to notice how much flatter it might feel. whether it feels maybe a little bit longer, a little bit softer, hopefully. And then we'll bend up those knees again, feet flat to the mat. And this time, guide your left knee in toward the left side of your chest. Take your belt and bring your belt around the ball of the left foot, so just below those toes. Lengthen through that left leg. Nice soft knee, gentle pressing into the belt. Energy through that left heel. Spread those toes. Again, if you need to have that leg lower, that's absolutely perfect. Find the perfect spot for your practice. If your belt is long enough, again, those elbows can come to the mat. And then when it's comfortable to do so, if it's comfortable to do so, lengthening through that right leg completely. Again, making a full footprint with that right foot so those toes point toward the ceiling. Back a little bit so that's clearer. Excellent. Settle in here, breathe in, that breath mobilizing that beautiful release, coupled obviously with our physical presentation or posture here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Again, you might like to check if you're after managing to create any extra little bit of space with your first few rounds of breath. So it may well be that you can bring that left foot a micromillimeter closer to you. Claim whatever space is yours and breathe into it. In through the nose, out through the nose. Gently pass both sides of your belt to your left hand. Remembering our most important principle, holding that right hip, that right leg stable to the mat as you gently release that left leg to the left. Again, only as much as is comfortable in your practice with that right hip, that right leg stable to the mat. So you're still making that full footprint with those right toes toward the ceiling. Check in on your principles in that left leg, the softness in the left knee, the gentle energy into the belt, the gentle energy through that left heel. If it's comfortable, you can extend your right arm from your body and maybe even bring your gaze over toward your right hand. Again, just finding your perfect expression here as we release the left lower body. Nice deep breaths here. One last deep breath. And again, as we prepare for transition, if you brought your gaze over to the side, bringing your gaze back to center now, engaging those core muscles, using those core muscles so that on your next inhale, you're nice and slowly inhaling that left leg back to center. Pause in center, allow that gentle settling in center. Pass both sides of your belt to your right hand and just gently guide that left foot just 3 to 4 inches across the midline in line with your right shoulder. Left femur descending to the mat. Soft knee, gentle pressing into that belt. And again, if it's comfortable for you, you can extend your left arm from the body and maybe bring your gaze over towards your left hand. Again, just finding what works really well for your practice this morning. Take one last deep breath here. And then again, begin your transition back to center by bringing your gaze back to center first if you had your gaze to the side. And then gently guiding that left leg nice and slowly back to center. Settle in center. And then draw that left knee in toward the left side of your chest as you release your belt. Hold on to that knee in through the nose and out through the nose. And beginning to circle that left foot about 5 times in each direction. And then lengthen completely through that left leg. And just take a few moments to appreciate your lovely new legs. And take our thread the needle pose. No, I have the needle. I always get confused. So we're bending up the knees anyway. Feet about hip width apart. And taking the right ankle over the left knee. So again, you can gently press that right knee away and keep that left foot pressing into the mat if that is where you are this morning. Or if you have more space, you might take that left leg to tabletop position. And it may well be that you can bring your hands in behind that left thigh, or you can loop your belt. So use the length of your belt if you need that extra little bit of length to be able to get the back of your head, the back of the shoulders, the back of the sit bones to the mat. Like when we do our belt work, we're making full footprints with our feet. So that will just kind of, if you want to kind of experiment with allowing your feet to flop and then making the full footprint, just to see the way that that activates that kind of wakenness in the muscles. We'll activate our opposing energy, drawing our left knee toward us as we guide our right knee away. Again, a very, very subtle movement. You may not have even seen that physical movement in my body. And that creates a lovely opening into your right hip. And as soon as you've activated that opening, you just settle in and breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just focusing your attention into that right hip. That gorgeous release. In through the nose and out through the nose. Take one last deep breath and then gently, gently release your left foot nice and slowly to the mat. Release your right foot. Again, let's take a moment to allow that gentle settling of energy in the right hip. We'll take that left ankle over the right knee. And again, you can keep that right foot into the mat if that's what's most comfortable for you and just gently guide that left knee away. Or if there's space, we can take that right foot to tabletop. Again, making those full footprints with the feet. We can take our belt or our hands in behind that right thigh. But we want to be able to keep the sit bones, the backs of the shoulders and the back of the head to the mat as we activate this pose. So gentle energy, right knee towards you, left knee away, opening up that left hip. And again, once you have activated that opening, settling in and breathing into that left hip. One last deep breath into that left hip. And then gently, gently release that right foot nice and slowly. Release that left foot nice and slowly. Allow that lovely settling of energy into that space that you've created. Gently guide yourself up to a seated position and then make your way to hands and knees. Now, so we're going to come to our hands and knees again, that focus point under those index knuckles. And before we move into our cat and dog, we're just going to make gentle circles with our body, like around the wrists. And so we're just kind of rocking in circles and back the other way. And come back to stillness. And we're going to activate our cat and dog gentle flow with the breath. So as you exhale, draw your chin to your chest and curl your spine to the ceiling in your cat. And as you inhale, gently flow through to dog, allowing the belly to descend toward the mat, the heart to open, the gaze to come forward, moving on your own breath. Take one more round. And then gently return to your neutral position. We're going to make our way slowly to our feet and come to the back of the mat. So again, take your time to create that beautiful, perfect Tadasana for your body, finding that beautiful connection through the feet, that equal distribution of weight through the feet, that neutrality in the pelvis, that sense of those inner thighs smoothing inwards, so those outer thighs open up, creating that natural curvature in the spine, that beautiful length in your spine, arms either side, hands facing forward, soften down those shoulders, length through that spine. And we're going to begin our little shake, this beautiful energy mover. So just shaking your torso. We're not physically moving our arms just yet, but they will be moving by that shaking that you're creating in your body. I like to keep my feet plugged, but if you prefer to kind of stamp your feet in this movement, that's absolutely perfect too. Find what feels just right for you. We can start to begin to physically shake the arms now as well, and just start to shake the arms up. Bring the arms over the head, keep that shake through the body, shaking the arms down. And again, we'll shake them up again. And we'll shake them down, keeping the body shaking throughout. We'll shake them up again. Last time. Shake them down. Return them to your sides. Gently return to stillness in your Tadasana. And just sense into that lovely flow of energy through your body. So using that shaking motion to release any blocks or traps. I'm just going to take a quick sup of water. And then again, from the back of your mat, in your Tadasana. Inhale and bring those hands toward the ceiling. Oh, I can nearly touch the ceiling here. Press into your left foot as you gently curl to the right. So that pressing that energy through the left foot helps you to have that deeper stretch down the left side. Inhale back to center. Stretch or press through that right foot as you exhale and release over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale and fold forward. Nice deep bend in the knees, your first forward fold of the practice. Inhale, half lift, extend that crown of the head, that heart comes forward. Exhale and fold. And we're going to begin to walk the hands out the mat to find ourselves in plank pose. Forward board pose, pushing that floor away, keeping that tailbone lengthening. Breathing right into your back body. We'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Releasing those sit bones toward the ceiling, allowing that lovely spilling of the spine from the pelvis. Bring a gentle bend into your knees so you can feel those upper thigh bones moving back. Again, soft shoulders. Plugging through those index knuckles. We can begin to walk those hands back the mat to find ourselves in forward fold once more. Inhale for half lift, extending that crown of the head. Exhale and fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs as we inhale and root to rise and bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, gaze to the ceiling. Plug through that left foot as we gently curl to the right. Inhale back to center, plug through the right as we exhale and release to the left. Inhale back to center as we exhale, fold forward. Bend those knees as deeply as you need to. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. We'll walk those hands out once more to come to our plank pose again. Now you can choose to stay still in your plank, or if you wish, you can bring a little bit of movement with me. So taking that right knee toward the right nose, your only nose, hopefully. Left knee toward the nose, back to center, right knee toward the nose, back to center, left knee toward the nose, back to center, right knee toward the nose, back to center, left knee toward the nose, back to center. Hold your plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Enjoy this full body stretch, that beautiful softening and release from linear to curvy. I'm about to lose my earbud. Now, bring a little movement into your dog, a walk of your dog, bending one knee at a time, allowing the opposite heel to descend. And we'll gently walk those feet one at a time, nice and slowly, to come to the top of the mat. We're in forward fold again. Bend those knees as deeply as you need to. Again, the head hangs heavy, the arms hang heavy. The legs are strong. That spine is spilling. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs as we inhale and root to rise and bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. So again, we're staying at the top of the mats now. Again, starting in your Tadasana, take your time to clean up that Tadasana pose, that foundational pose that we begin our movement from. Inhale the arms up, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale and fold. Inhale for half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale that right foot to the back of the mat. Stay here in your low lunge, keeping those hands plugging. That right heel lifting, that left sole of the foot plugging. And then gently release that right knee to the mat. Plug in that instep. Hug those legs toward each other to bring your hands to your hips. Again, take your time here. Find your foundations, keep that tailbone lengthening. Inhale the arms up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, release behind your back, interlace those fingers and open up your chest. And it might be nice here to take a little baby back bend if that's comfortable in your body. Going back to center, inhale those arms back toward the ceiling, down through center, plug those hands, lift that right knee and bring that left foot back for downward facing dog. Inhale and roll forward or float forward to forward board pose, plank pose. And we're going to make our way to upward facing dog. So just gently allowing the pelvis to descend toward the mat, opening up the heart, bringing the gaze forward, the throat back. I like to keep my toes tucked under, but you can come onto the instep if that's more comfortable for you, for the full expression of your up dog. And then absorb your belly button back in towards your spine as you draw yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Enjoy your breath here. We'll lead with the right foot to walk or step to the front of the mat to come back to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs as we inhale and root to rise. And bring those hands down through center. Inhale the arms up, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift, extend that crown of the head. Exhale and fold. Inhale that left foot to the back of the mat. Again, take your time in your low lunge here, keeping those hands to the mat. That plugging through the right sole of the foot, lifting of the left heel. Enjoy your breath, breathing right into the back body. And then gently release that left knee to the mat, plug in that instep, hug those legs toward each other as you bring your hands to your hips. Again, keep that tailbone lengthening, establish your foundations. Inhale the arms up, gaze to the ceiling if that's comfortable. Exhale and release the arms behind you, interlace those fingers and open up that chest. Again, you can take a little baby back bend if that's comfortable in your practice. Coming back to center and inhale those arms back toward the ceiling, down through center and make your way to downward dog, drawing that right foot back. Beautiful. Inhale and float forward, roll forward, forward board pose, plank pose. Again, push that floor away. And we're going to transition to upward dog once more, allowing that pelvis to descend toward the mat, the heart to open, throat to come back. Again, the legs are suspended. You can turn over onto the insteps if you want the full expression of your up dog. I like to keep my toes tucked under. And then absorb the belly button to the spine to come up and back for downward facing dog once more. Leading with your left foot, we'll step or walk to the front of the mat to come back to forward fold. Inhale for half lift. Exhale and fold. Plug those feet, zip up those legs as we inhale and root to rise. And bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, Gaze to the ceiling. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale that right foot to the back of the mat. Let that pelvis settle. Hug those legs toward midline. If it's comfortable to keep that right knee suspended as we come up to have the hands on the hips. Allow yourself to establish those foundations and bring your hands together in prayer pose. So those forearms are in a straight line, parallel to the floor. And then with those foundations strong, gently release that right elbow over the left knee to create our lovely twist. It's kind of like a bound twist, whereas sometimes we would have the right hand to the mat, the left hand to the ceiling. Gently release back to center. Bring those hands down through center. Come back to the mat. Left foot back for downward facing dog. Inhale and roll forward, float forward, forward board pose, plank pose. Push that floor away, tailbone extending. Knees to the mat if you wish, as we exhale forward and down, chaturanga, and then release to the floor. Love the floor. Legs long and strong, hands either side of your chest as you inhale and lift the heart for cobra pose. Opening up those collarbones, throat back. And again, if it's comfortable, turn over those toes and bring yourself up and back to downward facing dog. But again, if you need to come through hands and knees on the mat, whatever way you get here is absolutely perfect. Extend that right foot toward the ceiling for our three-legged dog. And we'll bring a little bit of movement here. So right knee to left elbow and come back. Right knee to left elbow and come back. Right knee to left elbow and come back to your three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow and come back. Right knee to right elbow and come back. Right knee to right elbow and come back. And we're going to make our transition to pigeon on the right side. So allowing that right knee to land behind that right wrist. The right leg crosses the body, lands on baby toe edge behind that left hand. That left leg comes to the mat. Plug in that instep. That's comfortable for you. Tailbone lengthening, settling in the pelvis. Again, come high in your pigeon. Come on to tented fingers. Just check that those foundations, that you could have your hands to your hips, hugging those legs if that was comfortable for you. Take a nice deep inhale as you lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, if it's available to you, fold forward onto your forearms. But again, if it's better to stay high in your pigeon, listen to your body. Find your perfect expression of your pigeon pose. And breathe into that right hip, that beautiful opening, that beautiful release that you are creating. One last deep breath into that right hip here. And then if you are low in your pigeon, coming back to your hands, turning over the toes of that left foot, lifting that knee and coming back to downward facing dog. Again, taking any little movement in your down dog that feels really good for you. And then leading with your right foot, you're stepping or walking to the front of the mat to come to forward fold once more. Inhale to half lift, extending that crown of the head. Exhale and fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs as we inhale and root to rise. And bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale and fold. Inhale for half lift. I just go the other way. Exhale and fold. Inhale that left leg to the back of the mat. In your low lunge to begin, that left knee is suspended, hugging those legs toward each other. If you have the space here to keep that left knee suspended, that's great. If not, bring it to the mat. Hug those legs toward midline to bring your hands to your hips. Establish those foundations, tailbone lengthening. Bring your hands together in prayer pose in front of your heart with your arms parallel in a straight line parallel to the floor. And again, we're going to do our little twist here as we release that left elbow over the right knee and twist to the right. Keep those foundations solid. Enjoy your breath. One last deep breath here. And then we're going to gently release back to center. Bring those hands down through center and release that right foot back for downward facing dog. Enjoy. Inhale and roll forward, float forward, forward board pose, plank pose, push that floor away, knees to the mat if you wish, as we exhale forward and down, chaturanga, and then love the floor. Make those legs long and strong, insteps into the mat, hands either side of your chest as you inhale and lift the heart for cobra pose. Throat back. If it's comfortable to come straight to down dog from here, turn over those toes, absorb that belly button and come back to down dog. But again, whatever way you find to down dog is absolutely perfect. Let's lift that left foot toward the ceiling in three-legged dog and bring in our little bit of movement. Left knee to right elbow and return. Left knee to right elbow and return. Left knee, right elbow and return. Left knee to left elbow and return. Left knee to left elbow and return. Left knee to left elbow and return. And then gently guide that left knee down for pigeon pose. Landing behind the left wrist, left calf crosses the body, right foot lands on baby toe edge, behind that right hand, left foot behind right hand, yes. Right hands, feet, take that right leg back, just a couple of inches, plug in that instep if that's comfortable for you, and keep that tailbone lengthening and that pelvis settling. And we'll take ourselves onto tented fingers to really sense into the beautiful length in our spines on the inhale. And if you have a little bit of space here as you exhale, fold forward over that front calf, coming to your forearms. If that's comfortable, nice neutral spine, breathing into that left hip, in through the nose and out through the nose. Take one more deep breath into that left hip. And then gently guide yourself back to your hands. Turn over the toes of that right foot and come back to downward facing dog. Our last down dog of the practice, guys. So luxuriate in it, enjoy it. Take whatever movement you need to feel the longest, most beautiful release in your down dog. Leading with your left foot, step or walk to the front of the mat to come to forward fold. Again, bend those knees as deeply as you need to. Allow the head to hang heavy, the arms to hang heavy. Inhale for half lift. Exhale and fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs as we inhale and root to rise. And bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. So making your way down to the mat, and we'll do our boat pose, a twist, and it's Shavasana time already. Like, these practices go way too fast. So just making sure you have that nice connection through the sit bones, the hands in behind the knees, come to your tiptoes and just tiptoe those feet in until it feels perfect to bring them to tabletop. And again, let's do those full footprints with the feet. Let's say footprints with the hands. It's early. You can stay right here, or if it's comfortable, you can bring your arms either side of your body. And like we've been integrating these last few weeks, we can bring a little twist here by bringing our hands together, interlacing the fingers, and taking a little row to the boat. So rowing side to side, keeping those legs as still as possible. If yours are anything like mine, they may be shaking. That's okay. Just means it's working, right? Take one more row and then return to center. Again, if it's comfortable, arms either side, and extend your legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab those knees and gently make your way back to the mat. Gorgeous. So you're going to come down and do a bridge pose. I forgot that in the little lead-ins. A bridge pose or twist, and then Shavasana. So I started to do a little bit of movement in the bridge lately, which I really like. So you can choose to do your traditional bridge, or if you want to do the movement with me, that's perfect too. So feet slightly wider than hip width apart, like close enough that you can kind of reach down and touch them. So we'll do a traditional first. Upper arms plugging to the mat, shoulders back of the head. Most importantly, plug through those feet as we inhale those hips toward the ceiling in our bridge pose. Again, plug, plug, plug through those feet. Breathe into that back body. And as you exhale, bring those hands down to the mat and gently release the body to the mat. The movement that we're going to take is that as we inhale, we'll lift to bridge and extend the arms over the head. And as we exhale, we'll draw the arms back down as we lower the hips to the mat. But again, if you prefer to do your traditional bridge for this next minute or so, that's absolutely perfect. Inhale, lift those hips, extend the arms. Exhale, draw those hips back toward the mat as we lengthen the arms either side. Inhale and lift, extending the arms. Exhale and release. Inhale and lift. Exhale and release. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. So we'll make our way to a twist now. So we'll extend that right leg fully flat to the mat. We'll take that left leg to tabletop, right hand to the outside of the left knee, and just gently guide that left knee over to the right, bringing that right foot onto baby toe edge. If it's comfortable, extending that left arm from the body and bringing your gaze over toward your left hand.
Again, focusing in on the breath here. With each breath, you can imagine that left shoulder softening a little more in toward the mat. One last deep breath here. And then gently make your way back to center, gaze back to center first, bringing those legs back to center with that left leg still in tabletop until you get to center and you can settle and then extend through the left leg. And taking that right leg to tabletop, that left hand to the outside of the right knee and just gently guiding that right leg over to the left, bringing that left foot onto baby toe edge. And again, if it's comfortable for you, extending that right arm from the body, gaze over the right shoulder toward the right hand for a beautiful deep twist, a deep, delicious twist. Take one last deep breath here. And then gently, gently, again, starting by bringing your gaze to center first, keeping your right leg in tabletop as you return the legs to center, and then extend through the right leg once you've had that settling. And make your way to Shavasana, whatever your perfect experience of Shavasana is. So whether that's with cushions under the knees or with the legs bent up, or maybe it's completely extended, feet 8 to 10 inches apart, arms either side of your body, either palms facing inward or up toward the ceiling. Whatever feels just gorgeous for you. When you're ready, gently close down the eyes and take a little scan of your body. Begin to deepen your breath, paying particular attention on extending your exhale, slowing your exhale down. For the next minute or two, just gently guiding your awareness around your body to welcome the softening and release of your practice in the space that you have created for rest, renewal. Bringing your awareness to your entire right leg. Soften, release, renew. Your entire left leg. Soften, release, renew. Your entire torso, from your pelvis to the tops of your shoulders. Soften, release, renew. Your entire right arm, your entire left arm, both arms. Soften, release, renew. Through the muscles of your neck and all your facial muscles, your scalp,
every last muscle in your body now. Soften, release, renew. With each breath, releasing a little deeper, knowing that all that's left for you to do is reap the rewards of your practice. With deepening breath, introduce a little movement of fingers and toes, hands and feet, until it feels perfect to roll over to your right, using your hands as a pillow. Gently assisting yourself back to a seated position, cross-legged on your mat, keeping the eyes gently closed. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart, bowing your head to your own heart, to each other's heart, and the eternal heart. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you, guys.